entrepreneurs or business or career people. Their answers to us today will help us find the S, like in the algebraic expression that we've all learned, that 2 plus 3x, 2 plus 2x gives us an answer, then look for S. We'll cross the T's and dot the I's by their answers today. It's my pleasure to introduce our panelists. While we have 2 people that will be joining us virtually, yet we have 5 people seated here that will tap from their experiences today. From the extreme over there, they have wonderful profiles. So permit me, I'll do a munch and I'll just tell you who they are. So right for me seated are the only woman in the panel is Mrs. Dorcas James. She's a managing strategist. She thrives in governance and she's an HRO expert. She has international experience in international development consultant with United Nations. Also done consultancy job and also worked with NGOs. And she's also a gender advocate and also believe in developmental economics. Could you please welcome her with a rousing sound of applause? Next one is Mr. Ibini Festus Olonwa. He has his first and second degree in banking and finance. He's a fellow Chartered Institute of Bankers. He's a fellow Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. He has over 30 years of working experience in banking and capital markets. Currently, he's the MD CEO of Marriott Securities and Investment Co. Limited, a stock-breaking firm registered with Security and Exchange Commission, SEC. Thank you, you're welcome. At this point, I don't think I need to introduce the next person. I encountered him years back, and the impact he left has been resounding. He's been one of our speakers. He was the second speaker here. His profile has been read, so kindly join me in welcoming Bayo Olubim. Same I encountered, actually they were in one of those conferences together years back. So kindly help me welcome. His profile has been read, he's been there, done it, and he's going to help us gain from his experience. Benga Tutoy. Okay, and the last person seated here is Mr. Matthew Adibe. Please welcome him. Virtually joining us is one of those people that have given their testimony earlier on, which is Tayo Owasonoye. He's the Chief Concerneur La Eventel Drinks Enterprise. He's been at Well Done It. He emphasized so much on skills, excellence, and getting the job done. So, Mr. Tayo, I want to welcome you. Let's give him a round of applause. And the next person joining us virtually is Mr. Damilari. He's the founder of Payment Nigeria, a company he built from his sitting room into a fully bootstrapped platform, helping thousands of Nigerians to save over 3 billion yearly towards their rent. He also serves as chairman of Confidence Microfinance Bank, a new generation bank created to reward people for banking, a business consultant, investor, and builder of people and companies. Damilare is passionate about proving that big dreams can grow from small beginnings and that impact, not funding, is the true measure of success. Can you please welcome him? And yours truly is Abiodun Aderomu that will be anchoring and being your guide for this section. Now, how do we start? Many of the things so said here is trying to help us find a nexus or a common ground between the youth, asking them, do I take up a career or do I go in as an entrepreneur? We've always heard, follow a dream. You can do it. What is your passion? But sometimes some passion doesn't work out that way. We might not have the same experience or leverage on the same capacity to get our dreams. Or some people are best supporting entrepreneurs or co-founders and not funders. So at one point in time, do you answer the question, of following your dream or becoming an entrepreneur? Vis-a-vis the current reality we have in Nigeria. Please, Mr. Abinga, can you please start for us?
Very interesting question. So one, because of how much we have, personal opinion, because of how much we have abused the word love and passion, I always tell people, remove those two things when you are talking about entrepreneurship. Because you can't build a business around those two things. I dare say humbly, Dangote is not passionate about oil or food or whatever. He's passionate about providing what everyday Nigerians need, and as it does that, it makes money in the long run. That does not rule out career and business of our passion. It doesn't, but I think we overemphasize only do the things you love, do the things you are passionate about, and we make it look as if when you are doing anything that you don't love or you are not passionate about, it is wrong. I dare say the balance really is do everything you have with love and passion. That's the balance. So let's get that sorted out first. Career or business, find a need, have the skill or the product to meet the need, do it excellently, do it consistently over time. You are now in business or in career. To tie it around only the things you love and you're passionate about is a faulty foundation. That would be mine.
Thank you so much. I like Sabayo Olubemi to come into this because he's been there with a lot of experience working on a project. Then I would take it to Mr. Damilare Oguyemi. Please be on the standby.
Thank you very much. In this age and time, it's becoming a little bit difficult to start alone. So, if possible, I'll give you an example of my son. You are asking me about our bike guy. Our bike guys and his team, they got their fingers burned, especially while they were driving and spreading, COVID came. And when COVID came, no student to ride their bike. Glover did what they were thinking of doing. Okay, now that no student in school for almost 1 year, of course, their business strategy failed. So my son had to leave Nigeria to go and do his LLM in the UK. And as he was finishing his LLM, he began to take some certifications, project management, this management, that management. After about 2 years, he told me, Daddy, I'm coming back home. So what do you want to do? Before it was business or nothing. He's a lawyer. He said he was not going to work in the chamber. He doesn't want to pursue that career. Today he's in investment banking. He's a trust advisor. But I told him, you know what, guy? Go and get experience. After that, you can go back to whatever you want to do. And he's happy now doing what he is doing. So I will always advise, it's good to be an entrepreneur, but first be an intrapreneur. Get a job somewhere, pour yourself into that job. Along the line, you might start doing something that you love or you have passion for, or you don't even have passion for, but what will meet the need of the people in the marketplace. And you cannot branch out. There's somebody called, what's the name of that? Item 7 today. Started from Kwara. I even thought it was Ibadan. I remember it's Kwara. From Kwara to Ibadan. Now it's everywhere. In every locality now, they said, what's the name of their ShopRite and Sparkle? There's Boku everywhere. Boku. I don't know how that their business strategy is something else. Cheap, and they're in every nook and corner, everywhere. So, but they didn't start big. And so it's good if you can get a job to do that, get experience. If you want to be an entrepreneur, nothing's wrong in that, branch out. But you can't be nowhere, you must be somewhere. Start somewhere. And
okay, thank you, sir. So I'll go over now to, I realized Mr. Damilare was trying to talk to us, but you can now unmute. Sometimes you need to be in the job. When I mean in the job, not on the job this time around, you're working to get finance to support a dream of becoming an entrepreneur. So for you, at what point did you determine that it was time for me to launch out?
Well, thank you for having me. I didn't just launch out in business. So apparently started working first. And then at some point, I branched out from working to start my business. And going back to your first question that you asked, I didn't branch out to go and do business in what I was passionate about. I branched out to go and do business because I followed the money, right? So I studied the economy and I was like, where's the money right now? And that was far back, almost like 15 years ago, when dispatch riders were just coming into the system. So I was part of the first set of people that entered that dispatch market. I made my money, and then when I was tired of that particular sector, I branched to the next one. So it's not as if I was passionate about dispatch or that particular business. I just followed the money, I made the money, and then I moved to the next thing, right? So the way I structure my life is that some things you are passionate about might not necessarily have money, right? So if you go and build that particular product, what might eventually happen is that you might be broke, but you are passionate, right? So the way it is done sometimes is that you go for what you can build and then you can make money. Then from the money you have made, you can now go and build something you are passionate about. In that, you are able to hold your family strong, right? Because you have money to give to your spouse and your wife. Then you have money to also sponsor the thing you are passionate about. So doing that, you are able to scale up. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. And I got that word. Follow the money. It's an FBI slang, so I got it. Okay. You want to agree with me that looking at the people on this panel, they've had wonderful careers, and you can't call them failure. So I would ask, for a young man, I'm talking about Mrs. Dorcas James now, what would you advise? Looking at the opportunities in Nigeria, should I go for career or should I look into business? Not minding the passion. 2 minutes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, everyone. I stand on already established protocol. Thank you for having me. Now, for a young man, when you say young man, I believe you mean both the young man and the young woman in Nigeria. Your decision to either go for career or a business should actually stem from your ability to research. The speakers that have spoken before talk so much about the changing place of work. Work is now different. The workplace is different. What are you learning about your environment? As we are seated here, there are opportunities that are around you, but you will not know until you do a research on it. For instance, if I ask us now, how many of us this year have done any certification program? How many of us have done any form of research? How many of us here know the AFCFTA, African Free Continental Trade Area, the agreement to bring 54 countries together? Now, when you look at that market, it's a very large market with about 1.4 billion population, sitting on about 3 trillion dollars. Now, you want to ask yourself, what are the industries that control this money, that I have the skills, the necessary skills that I can use to work in? If I'm not looking at that area, what are those business areas that I can use to service these needs that this whole population presents? For me, I will say the first thing is to do your research and do your environmental scanning. If you don't do this, it will be difficult for you to determine if you should go into career or business. I want to pause here.
Thank you. You have a round of applause, please. You have preempted some of my questions. Actually, I have a question on AFCTA here, AFCFTA here, an advent of free zones, free trade zones and all that, and how do budding entrepreneur, young entrepreneur, which I believe some people are here trying to leverage on that. But I think I would delay that for later. Sir, maybe I'll start from here, and Mr. Bengotutu had talked about that. Now, because you operate within the policy framework of the Security and Exchange Commission, how does government policies that sometimes entrepreneurs are not aware of, vis-a-vis even the new tax law, for those of us that are entrepreneurs here, how does those government policy affect business vis-a-vis their growth, or some people don't have enough knowledge about HR policies that they employ, at the end of the day they get their finger burnt, because when issue of disagreement comes, they go into litigation and realize that you made a mistake from the onset by not signing the appropriate papers. So how does these government policies affect businesses?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I first of all want to appreciate our pastor here, who is on the high table with us. And I want to also let you know that what you are getting today is more of a first class something that you don't know possibly about. My pastor here, Pastor Bayo, is also happened to be the former chairman or president of Chartered Institute of Bankers. He was actually my president. So please, I want us to recognize that what he's telling you is giving you a kind of a global knowledge, so that when you go back home, take care of it, hold on to it, and hold on to it well. It's also a guru in capital market. It's a general also in the capital market. So then coming back to your question now, government policies, tax issues that were just announced. For example, majority of us in Nigeria were not paying tax. That's just the truth. Majority of us were not paying. Even before now, we don't know the implications of some of those things. For example, now you have a company, a company that you register. Every year, you're supposed to make a return to CAC, but you are not doing that. For the fact that you are not doing that and they are not coming after you, it does not mean that maybe you are not violating any law, whatever, but because of the porous in the system, because of the regulators are not taking things seriously. But now, going forward, most of those things will come to play. So when you register a company, know for sure that every year you must make your return, whether you fall under the categories where you pay tax or not, because like the small, medium or small enterprises, maybe if your turnover is less than 25 or 50 million, you are not entitled to pay tax. But whether you are entitled to pay tax or not, or you must file the return to CAC. My daughter just graduated from University of Lagos, and she floated the company. And in the course of that, and I told her that, hope you know that you are going to be filing your return. If not, government will come after you. So these are part of the things. And then looking at, there's something that created a kind of shout all over the places. Oh, government has revealed the tax that, all of us will have to be paying tax. Now they will go to your bank and, they take your money from bank and all those things. It's not like that. Okay. There are minimums. Okay. There are minimum. Then the capital gain tax. The capital gain tax affected the capital market somehow to the extent that we lost about 4-point-something trillion within a week or thereabouts. And what happened in that case? What happened was that the effective date of that capital gain tax was not properly defined. So people were confused. And in fact, when the prof, that's the tax person, was brought to come and explain, he told the capital market point blank that, if you don't want to face this thing at this time, make sure you sell down before December. And that people have to start selling that. And that was what caused that problem. But Within that period, Minister of Finance was invited, and he clarified the sum. Then the effective date was brought forward to 31st of December. So what I'm saying in essence is that there are so many policies the federal government is rolling out. We must be up to date. Let us be close to what we are doing. And let us be, apart from politics, we should also be, at least, I did my government in A-level. One of the textbooks that written by Padura, I say all animals, all human beings are political animals. So majority of us, we don't pay interest in what is happening in our environment, which is very wrong. If you are going to be a business person, you must know what is going on in your environment. Whether it's issue of SEC, or whether it's issue of CAC, or whatever, you must be familiar with what is going on in your environment so that you know at any point in time what to do and what not to do.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I would want you to pay attention, close attention to this question. Now, your CV...
Can I just say one
Okay,
thing?
sir.
Thank you, sir. Most of us, we are actually trying to prove right what the woman said. If you want to hide anything from a black man who's in the book, they won't read. But now things are changing. For the first time in the history of Nigeria, we have, whether you like him or not, Tinubu is a serious-minded human being. Serious-minded. And it's changing, it's changing a lot at the same time. Like him, hate him, is actually doing some right things or some things right. And at our levels, most of us are graduates. Please, any government policy that has come out that will affect you, go and study it. And let me tell you the truth, in every policy there are loopholes. Not illegal. There are loopholes that you can catch on. Not illegally. Not illegally. But I said something when I was speaking. Always don't ignore consultants or professional advisors. I'm a banker. I'm not a lawyer. Thank God I have lawyers at home. My son is a lawyer. Even in his own law, he's into corporate law, more or less. So if I want real advice, I will go and look at those who are practicing. Okay? Seek advice when you think you don't know. Then read up. Your learning should be on a daily basis. No more, and in law they said ignorance is not an excuse. So I don't know. In the issue of tax law, give it to this government. They did a lot of campaign, a lot of road shows, a lot of explanation, a lot of storytelling. Nobody in Nigeria, unless you are deaf, dumb, and blind, that will say, I don't know about the tax law. Don't be caught unawares. And any policy of government, that's why you must also be very, very alive to your political responsibilities. Okay. Because if bad people come into governance, the Bible even says when the righteous rule, the people rejoice. If bad people come on board, when any stupid law is enacted and is signed, it becomes a law, and you are bound by it. Okay, so we must be interested in what goes on, even to our local government level. I don't want to ask a question. Now, if I ask you now, who is your councillor in your ward? Do you even know your ward? What is your ward name? I know my ward in the village in Ibadan. I know the ward I am in Etiosa local government. I try to know my chairman. I used to know the one who was my House of Rep. I'm even close to him. He's my friend. But the new one just came from nowhere. It was Obi, what do you call it? Obi movement. The guy is not even from Lagos. He's not from Yoruba land. He's from Benue State. He just tried. The Obi movement brought him in. He's our House of Rep guy now. But you must know who is representing you.
Okay, sir.
My younger brother used to represent us in Oluyole for some years in the House of Rep. I'm also interested in politics. I am not participating by a sponsor. So I know that people who are involved are also people that we can talk to influence policies and laws.
Okay, thank you. So moving forward, we have a minute and 50 seconds to, a minute and 30 seconds rather, to give a response. Now, I would like to go to a critical part. I said earlier that your CV, be interested in this question, is the first contact I have with you. It might be false and it might be true because the CV might not spell your capabilities. And at the same time, it might also demarket you. And I'm sure we have experts that understand that much. So, for Mr. Matthew seated here as an HR person, which I think Mr. Bengotutu will also want to support, what should be the priority? Because we are told to go to certification, be well read. It is fine, it is okay. So, should we place emphasis on certifications or skill? How do you advise us, please?
Okay, so the reality of workplace now is exhibiting a competition between skill and certification. And like Benga said earlier, it is your resume. Okay, so Study has said that your resume will bring you into the room first. And so as much as it is good to have certification, rather than staying idle and waiting for a job, while you're waiting for the job, gather necessary certification that is needed on the career path you are interested in. Now, as you're doing that, do not shy away from the skill. Because as much as the resume takes you into the room and the skill is not there, it will throw you out. I have been privileged to gather CVs, to interview people for roles. And guess what? You will see very rich CVs. Now, what even happened is that consultants and companies now even write CVs. So they will write it very well for you, make you looks very nice. And by the time you come for interview, you see somebody coming for roles like financial controller, and you just ask simple question on Excel. Because trust me, as little as a finance role is, your competence area or your skill area for Excel usage should be a minimum of intermediate. Minimum, at entry level, minimum. Now you're coming for the role of head of finance and you can't even do a little, what if you can't do that? A role of head. So the certification is there, ACA is there, ACCA is there. In fact, you find FCA in view. And for those kind of role, which means the person has a master's degree and first degree. But they cannot have that required little skill. So the certification is okay while you are waiting to get the job. But do not, and Daddy said something, pro bono is one area the Nigerian youth especially are refusing to go into. Now, the pro bono is so available, voluntary internship available for us to grow our skill. The certification is there to tell people that Matthew is a member of CIPM. That's okay. But that does not state that Matthew is well versed in the value chain of human resources. Now, if I spend my time with Benga, practicing doing the pro bono for maybe 1 year while I'm waiting to get a job, now I am getting this skill to review a resume. Now I am getting the skill to be able to interview somebody to know if he or she is cultural fit to work with Alan and Grant. Now I will be able to grow that skill to be able to be certain that Matthew can face the crowd to interview even an individual. Now these are not what your certification will give to you. These are what internship would give to you. These are what pro bonos will give to you. And the interesting part of it is that nobody will advertise pro bono to you. Nobody will advertise. Yeah, you might see voluntary internship being advertised, yeah. But some of us will not want to go because you find out that maybe the fee is about 40,000, 70,000. Nobody wants to do internship. But the truth is that for you to get the best of job, you have to go through that pro bono or internship. Because imagine if you are interning for a place like First Bank, for instance, and you want to really work in the bank, and you meet the head of human capital and development and say, Oga Olumide, I want to do pro bono with you for as long as I can get a job. Olumide will take you in to say, okay, no problem, come and learn. Now, as soon as a vacancy shows up, before Olumide will take it out, he asks internally. And they say, there is one match you're doing pro bono. I don't need to apply for that job. You know, what will happen is that, okay, Matthew resumed there, this is what we want to pay. And Matthew has gotten a job. And the same with it. So every of this is bringing the skill. The certification will now come to now say, okay, from one appraiser circle to another appraiser circle, what has he gotten? I have somebody who started a job with a master's degree, who joined the company at entry level with a master's degree. Do you know why? After his first degree, he didn't get a job. He had to go back to get master's. While he's doing his master's degree, he started getting other certification. I have an intern at my workplace. Immediately, you know what happened in Unilag or Bafemi Awolowo University? Once they are 200, 300 level, they start accounting department. They start even University of Ibadan. So even as an intern, he's here to serve. He's a chartered accountant. So we have created a space for him. We've done the necessary thing for him to serve in Lagos. So as soon as he's doing his service, he's working, he's earning salary. Now, as soon as he finishes that service, what happens? There is a job waiting for him.
Okay. So one thing you also didn't mention, what I think you also want to have in back of your mind when you do pro bono is that if you're doing internship with Alan and Grant, you are also leveraging on the personality he has built over years. That you're working Benga. If you're working Benga, then I'm sure. What about that? So I think it's just because of our time. So for you now to answer the question expressly, skill or certification? We just need an answer.
Yes.
Skill or certification?
Skill first.
Then
certification can speak.
But people will come at my CV first. So how do they know they have the skill?
So that's the interesting part of it. You know, if you have the certificate, if you have your CV and you have unnecessary certification, yes, the certification will take you, if CV will take you in, the skill will still take you out of the door. So that's the interesting part of it. I'm not saying certification is not good. It is good. The certification will bring you into the panel and you meet the likes of Matthew, you meet the likes of Benga, other HR person. But one, two questions will take you out. The certification, that's why you find people, when you see adverts for entry level, you find a PhD holder. That was the time Dangote wanted to recruit drivers. A PhD holder was applying. That's certification. He has it.
Okay.
But he was not having the right job.
Okay. Now, let me go to Tayo joining us virtually. Now, you know, it's not about just getting a corporate job. We're also looking at business. How do you face those challenges? I would want a success story from you. How were you able to navigate the Nigerian market space? Tayo, could you please help us? How were you able to navigate the challenges in the Nigerian market space? Market space.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Hello.
Are you there? We can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hello.
Okay, I just, while Mr. Tayo is trying to get across to us and we're facing the network, I want you all to prepare for our questions as well. I want to engage those seated here for you to ask your questions directly. So can I please have a mic?
Hello.
Okay, Mr. Tayo, can you hear us now?
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, my name is Tayo. Thank you so much for bringing me here. How was I able to navigate the market space? I saw an opportunity.
forward and ask in 30 seconds so we could give you a quick response. Do you have a questions? Please come forward. Let's be fast about it. Please come forward. Okay, let's be fast about it. Please introduce yourself and just ask the question. Please, 30 seconds.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, the panel. My name is Elijah. Please, I want to ask my question concerning, we are talking about certification, skills, but my concern is when companies or recruiting agency bring out outfits for companies and we now see certification, that's maybe degree or BSc, PhD as an added advantage, coupled with skills, 5 years experience, 10 years, and they now still bring in age. A must. You must be 28 years, 30 years at the time of you applying, considering the educational and economic constraints that we have in Nigeria.
Okay, I would want also we don't lose the essence. Be very fast about it. Age in the place of the market, in the marketplace. How do we justify that? Please, can we have 20 seconds? So let's.
Now I'm under attack, but God will help me. One, not all jobs, not all recruiters demand age. Issue of age is for entry-level jobs, and it's actually just to sift. It's a sifting method, right? That's one. Two, stop fighting it. The same Nigerian economy is producing graduates at 21, 22, 23. Stop fighting it. You can't win that battle. It looks unfair. It looks as a disadvantage against you, but move on. You can't win that battle. I have a cousin that is is graduating from Pan-African University today, this year, and he has finished his ICANN last year, and he passed. Why? That school aligned ICANN curriculum with their accounting. So from year one, he started doing it. Most of the universities do it now. But you see, that is his own reality. If your own reality is, by the time you found your feet in Lagos, you are 27, it's okay. By the time you graduated, you are 28. My brother, it's okay. But you see, now tell yourself, and go and get this book by Arusa. Getting a job is a job. It's a serious matter. So you are now 28. You are in quote no longer in that entry-level role job, which in most cases is done by banks and insurance companies. And there are other organizations that do not do that. Many. But you see, you can be caught up in your mind that every Nigerian company, every recruiting agency does that. I can tell you for free. That's not so. But if you are now 28, number one, make sure you are super, super good, regardless of your age. Because it's not about the company. It's not about the recruitment firm. The next person that you are sitting at that interview for is your immediate competition. So if that person is better than you, age regardless, they will take that person. So I always advise you focus on being very, very good.
Okay, sir.
Lastly,
Okay,
if age is not on your side, come to Egbeda. All over these shops, all over Akonjo Road, there are small, small shops, finance, HR, service. There will be something you can do for them. Because guess what? The moment you have 6 months, 1 year work experience anywhere, you have crossed that entry-level barrier.
Thank you. 20 seconds, be fast.
Without it looking like an extortion, is there a particular way or a particular body that is responsible for placing price?
No.
Okay. Price?
No.
Price metrics, a tailor. What do I charge for making this garment?
So first off, do your economics. Know your cost of goods for everything you are selling. I make this mic, I'm selling it for 100 naira. But does it cost me 50 naira to make this mic? Know the numbers enough, right? That's one. Two, you now do a mock-up on that 50 naira to be able to sell and make a profit. But don't get caught up in, it took me so long, I am so good at doing this market, which is why Madam was talking about scanning. Because sometimes you get caught up in how much it took us to do the product or how much we want to gain and we charge. But there is competition, there's market reality that influences what you can charge, or else you have a product that the market is not going to sell.
Okay, quickly, in 10 seconds, Tayo, you're in business practically. How were you able to set price metrics for your cocktail and services, consulting services? Could you please help us? Consulting services.
I'm very expensive and all that.
Okay.
You need both. However, even if you know how to do stuff very well, no matter the skill, if your attitude is thinking, nobody will come to you. You need aptitude to enter the room. You need attitude to remain in the room.
Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Damilare Oguyemi, I would like you to comment on this. What sort of employee would you employ? Is it the one with good skills or the one with skills and attitude? Which will you choose? Volume, please. Volume, please. Volume, please. Volume, please. Volume, please.
Move on, move on.
Okay. Okay. So let's take the next question. Okay, please. In 10 seconds, please. 10 seconds.
All right. So,
I just hope that we are really learning. Looking for a job, it's a job. Now, you want to get an internship role. There are so many. So, it is not just about having, you see, there are so many things you can do at the comfort of your restroom, your rooms, or whatever. You may not even necessarily need to go outside. If you, for instance, if you have a LinkedIn profile, you just search, there's a search box, internship role, or intern roles, or every of it will just come out like that, and you apply for, let's say, 20. See, what is happening to today's job seeker is that they are expecting it to look like the days of our daddy that will not come back, where the job will come and meet you, or the internship role will come and meet you. No, you don't need to know an accountant for you to get an internship or pro bono role for accounting. No, all you just need to do is to build a currency, and that's relationship. If you attend webinars like this, if you attend conferences, you attend conventions, you attend seminars, you will meet these people. Internship and pro bono roles are not roles that people cannot give, especially when they see that confidence in you that you are ready to learn. I have a few individuals who have met me and say, Matthew, I want to intern HR, I want to do pro bono in your company. And in my department, I have them. And interestingly, a guy just came to just do internship. And luckily, at that point in time, there was a role. So you don't need to really know a president for you to become a minister. Somebody who sees that deal in you will definitely put you out.
Thank you. Next question.
President, I have two questions. One for the panel. Okay, I have one question for the panel. Okay, so I'm a fashion designer who is good at what he does. A question was asked earlier, can we collect loan for business? Now, I'm good at what I do. I need machines and all of that. How do you advise me to go for a loan to get the machines?
Okay, let's have you, ma'am.
all right, so it's all right. So are you aware that the fashion industry is now a very big industry? Like I mentioned, the African Continental Free Trade Area, where you can trade in fashion to all the 54 countries. Now, you are talking about machines. Are you aware? This thing about research, we need to take it very, very serious. I'm a research-oriented person. Anything at all you want to do, create time to research on it, because there are hubs. Even Lagos State has it. Lagos State as a state has hub where you can go, take your materials there, do your sewing, and come out. There are so many hubs, even in Oshodi, so many places. A lot of fashion houses now are transforming the fashion business from just making clothes for people to making it like a consultancy where you can walk up to them and say, look, can I use your facility for XYZ period? Even if you don't have physical cash to give some of them, you can trade it for something. You can say, okay, I don't have money to give you, but I can help you make 3 clothes free. Let me use your machine to make mine. So these are things that you need to be able to innovate. The human mind can innovate. You can do a lot of things if only you apply your mind to it.
Thank you. Please, before you take next question, Mr. Dari, I was told you didn't hear properly, so I would come back to you later. The question I asked was that what sort of employee would you take? Is it person with skill or person with skill and character? I'll come back to you on that. I think for every entrepreneur, you should have more than one skill, because sometimes you need to trade something for something. That is what you've just said. Don't just sit on being able to sew clothes. You must also know how to brand, how to do all that, just to push yourself. So next question, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Victoria, a first-class graduate of mass communication. So I want to ask a question.
Let's appreciate her. A first-class graduate of mass communication, right?
I want to ask a question. So I have the skills, I have the certifications, but I don't have the connection. So how do I go about that?
Connection. You have the connection. Go to the back and talk to them. I don't need connection after all. Okay, please, ma'am.
So the age in which we are now is not the age in which you can say you cannot get certain things because you don't have connection. Yes, connection opens certain level of opportunities for you. But we are in the digital age. That is why anything you do now, you must have the digital skills. Go online. You must see organizations that need what you want. Start from there. Don't wait that because you don't have some connections, by the time people see that you now have value, connections sometimes will come to you.
Okay, thank you. Next question.
Sorry, can I just...
okay, sir.
Yeah, you have a first class. That is a good start. Like everyone has said now, LinkedIn, you see, just research. You see, we have this thinking, before they advertise, they will have filled the road. That's not true. I know a lot of people who have gotten job through my posting of job opportunities on platforms. A lot. You have a good start or starting point by having a good degree. So just spread your CV. Give your CV to your pastor here too. They can spread it to us. A lot of people are looking for people that have first class 2-1, and like pastor said, come. You have gotten a job in Jesus' name. Amen.
Okay, next.
Okay.
10 seconds for your question, please.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Okay, so my question is, especially in Nigeria, a lot of us, we study A, but we end up doing B. So how can we handle transition in career paths, especially when your course of study is taken into consideration? For example, now, I work in a data-related role. I want to seek out more opportunities relating to data, analytics, science, and all. But I studied industrial chemistry. A lot of people, the first thing they will when you see openings, they will ask you that they want someone that did math, stats, and all that kind of thing. So as young people, how do we handle transition in career?
Career transition. Who will take that for us?
I'm sorry. There's a lot of we are holding on to some popular beliefs that are not, please let her listen, that are not true. For instance, that story you just told, I can bet it. You have not told it on a LinkedIn post. You see? You are a data analyst person. Are you part of Product Dive? Yeah. So there are very simple things you can do that you have not done, but you are now holding on to one lie. Like you said, in your words, in this Nigeria, people will now say because you studied industrial chemistry, you are not a good data scientist. But as I listen to you, from my experience, science students are very iterative and given to details, which the average data person does. Is that not the connection? Then tell that story on LinkedIn. This evening, before you sleep, go on LinkedIn, tell a story. Oh, it's amazing how, while studying industrial chemistry, I did not know that my love for data and numbers will grow to a point there where I don't want to be an industrial chemist in a manufacturing company. I just love numbers and data, and I make intelligence with that. Now I have decided to face data analytics as a career. If you are out there looking for the best data person, come to my DM. Do you need Nigeria to do that? But you have not even done it. For instance, I hope when I see your LinkedIn profile, Instagram, Twitter, and all of that, I hope I will see a profile of a data person. If I don't, you are also hurting yourself. You are looking for a job, you are looking to transit. Use all your footprints online to tell that story. Because we do what we call social recruiting. If everybody that has come here now, as you mention your name, I'm Google searching your name. What's the first thing that will pop up? Will it surprise you? Or does it tell your story? If it doesn't, leave this program today. If it means you delete everything you have on Instagram and start all over again. For instance, in this program, take a selfie and post, I've spent the whole Saturday learning on what will make my career better. Whoever hires me is hiring the best person out of Egbeda. Tell such stories. Don't go on LinkedIn or Instagram and yap the president and call somebody and tell stories that does not tell about where you are going. It is hurting you.
Okay, please.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Oluwabukola Grace, and I'm a chartered accountant by profession. So my question goes to the point that it's often said that entrepreneurs start their businesses from the career that they were engaged in. For instance, I work in the oil and gas industry and say that I want to start a gas business. Do you think that it is ethical, like while I'm still in that industry and in that company, to start my own business? Also, for someone that works in a large organization, say you work in a very big corporation, how then do you talked about skills, so, and character. Say you have all of these characteristics and competence, but how then do you, it is often said that you need to be seen, even though you have all of these things, you need to make sure that you are seen. If you are just there and nobody knows that you are doing these things, but you are skillful and all of that. So how do you make yourself seen in those large organizations that it's maybe hard to get to the top management and all of that?
Thank you. In the business you're talking about, is it like gas refill or having a gas head or gas plant? Which one? So they refill gas.
A gas key, a plant, anything.
Okay, please, let's have the question. I was just being funny about that. So that's a lighter mood. Okay.
Yes, it's good to have what we call, you guys call it side hustle. We call it, is it plan B or another stream of income? However, when it conflicts with what you do, you can get fired. So be very careful. If what you want to do is conflicting with what you're doing now, don't do it. Except you use your weekend or your spare time, 7 p.m. to whatever. But if it's conflicting with your job, it will show in your productivity very soon, and you may get fired. Okay? But if you want to, like, oil and gas is a good place, begin to invest. And with time, you can set up that business and ensure it does not conflict with what we do.
Okay, thank you. Photographer, please be on standby. Let's have the last question.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Sir, my question is directed to you. In order to avoid being greedy, especially in a capital market, if in your portfolio, maybe before even venture into the market, you have a long-term view. So if in your portfolio you have some stocks doing over 500%, should you sell because you want to avoid being greedy, or you should stick to your plan of that long-term investment? Thank you.
Yeah, no, when he was making presentation, he said something that you need to be very careful with greediness. From time to time, you have to evaluate your portfolio. And you have to look at also the valuation of the company, whether the company is a company that is of value. Like, maybe look at companies like MTN now. MTN, Nestle, will I say Presco? I'm not just recommending now, but I'm saying that you look at the nature of the business and then the contribution of that business to the economy of maybe Nigeria, for example. So if the company has good fundamentals, you can keep them in your portfolio for a while and monitoring it. But there are some companies you don't stay too long with. That's some stock, rather, you don't stay too long with. You can use that, okay, maybe a growing company, but you know that this company is not all that too solid. But you want to make money through it. If you move in, then check your exit. As you are moving in, look at your exit point immediately. And when you get to that point, don't wait till tomorrow. Say, okay, maybe this thing is still going further. So quickly exit and move on. So it is very, very important. So as you look at all these companies, check the fundamentals, check the management on daily basis, and know what they're doing day in, day out, on daily basis. Please don't go maybe invest and go and sleep that, oh, I know this, nothing will happen to it. Anything can happen at any moment. So you have to be monitoring and evaluating the company on daily basis. One of the major problems we have in Nigeria is this. You invest in the company, but you don't believe that you are part of the company. It's a major problem. For example, you are maybe a shareholder of Guaranteed Trust Bank. You walk into Guaranteed Trust Bank and people, the staff are misbehaving. You don't talk to them to face the business and do well or focus on what they're doing. You just felt that you are just an investor or just buy the stocks, but you don't have any relationship. You are a shareholder. Each of the share that you have, gives you what? A voting rights. You can tell the MD of the bank that, look, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. But we don't believe in that. We don't see ourselves in that form. So you monitor every company you invest in. Make sure you monitor those companies and know what is going on day in, day out in those companies. So that you don't just wake up and discover that your money is gone.
Okay, thank you, sir. Now, we want to take a parting shot from Damilare and Tayo. So, Dari, you will go first by answering the question I asked earlier. Skill or skill with character? And then Tayo, go ahead. 10 seconds so we can just close this section. Thank you so much and God bless you.
Thank you.
If you don't mind. As a sound clap.